Okay, it's Gojira. I'm back onto the YouTube scene, making a resurgence in 2020, baby. But seriously, I am planning on making some more content. Hooray! If anybody remembers my super haggard content back in the day of like 2016 or something horrific like that, I was posting similar replays of BOTET, Call of Warhammer. Now, if you don't know what this game is, it is basically a Medieval 2 mod that essentially takes Medieval 2 and all of its glory and transformogrifies it into Warhammer. And it takes the entire campaign map and totally rearranges it, making it into the old and new world respectively. And yeah, it's pretty dope. And it's probably one of my favorite mods slash games of all time. I really like the mechanics of Medieval 2, even though it is a bit Cav centric in terms of balance, but it is really fun. It has a weightiness to it that the kind of newer Total Wars don't really get. Like everything counts. Like a cannon shot ricketing through a unit of infantry just totally like massacres the fuckers, instead of like, oh, like you shoot a cannon through some dwarf warriors and they just like stand back up because their HP hasn't gone down properly. Like, no, like in this game, if like you get charged in the back and get sent flying, or if you get like shot at by like a hell cannon, for instance, your ass is dying. You're just dead. It's over. You're done. And there's something like gritty and just kind of like really like satisfying to that type of gameplay. But yeah, so the plan is that I'm gonna be hopping back into the YouTube scene, making 2020 just even that much worse of a year. You have to endure my delicious commentary. But on the flip side, you get to witness some jankety, haggard battles that are going to be played on a like 15-year-old game. I don't know how old this game is, but Medieval 2 has definitely shown its age. If you take a look at some of these pink horror models and some of the other things, the mod developers did great for what they have to work with, but Medieval 2 is quite the ancient relic. So bear with me here. Also, my computer is kind of a toaster. It's kind of a piece of shit, so just, you know, keep that in mind. You'll see some jumps and jags, and also keep in mind that Medieval 2 and Medieval 2 mods in particular like to be buggy. So I, for some reason, get a nice 60 to 70 frame rate on Total War Warhammer 2 with my potato of a laptop. But then when I play this game, it jumps all over the place for no real apparent reason. So, you know, just take it with a grain of salt. I'm not here to give you the most, like, delicious looking like epic 4 million man battle at 100 billion frames per second. No, this is just like me just dinking around, playing a mod I love to play and showing you guys, taking you guys along for the ride. I will go briefly over the armies. It's not really like imperative to go over the armies because, well, the meta hasn't been defined. I can't tell you that the build I brought is good at all. I just wanted to bring it. Same with my opponent, CW3 Claire. He actually, my opponent does have a YouTube channel. I will talk about that at the end of the video, and links in the description below. But yeah, let's just get started. I am going to press play and then slow this bitch down to about half speed. So if we take a look at my army here, we have 4 pink hordes of Tzeentch. These are kind of like missile units. They shoot these kind of Eldritch Blast looking things that look very cool. They're like body piercing, so they go through multiple targets, and they're just dope all around, kind of light skirmish unit. Much different from the usual Chaos regime. We are getting a glorious shot from the Hell Cannon here into, I believe, some Empire Halberdiers, totally smashing them into smithereens. Glorious in all of its hell blastery, hell cannon-ness. We are having some Hell Blaster return fire as it's the battle of the Hell Artillery, because for some reason the Empire have hellish artillery as well. And we can see some Pistoliers coming in, but my main forces is constitute of Chaos Warriors with shields, some Chaos Knights, Chaos Chosen Knights, which are just kind of upgraded versions, and some Flamers, which are kind of mobile artillery units that basically they're kind of fast and slinky, slimy and slippery, but they also shoot some very powerful flamey projectiles. Anyways, Eldritch Blast going off into the Pistoliers as we round off my army. We can shoot over here for a second, as we'll see the Demigriff contingent of Claire's army. He is using Nordland, which is one of the like 10 provinces of the Empire that you can play in this game. Another Hell Cannon round coming in, epically missing. The Sons of Manan, along with like 4 Empire Halberdiers, make up the front line. Sons of Manan is kind of I think they're a priest type units, but they are in game just functionally a better spear unit. Empire Swordsmen rounding out the flanks, and in the juicy center we have some Empire Spearmen protecting the rocket battery. Nordland Marines, a run and gun kind of pistol and cutlass type unit. Witch Hunters, the badass Thanksgiving warriors, and Master Engineers, just kind of sniper extremes, American sniper unit, but they're not very good at taking on large swaths of unit. They're more for focusing like elite units like my cav and stuff like that. So we're just going to be returning skirmish fire for a while, so we are going to speed this up. And as we go and zoom in on the glorious fight that is the Pistoliers and my Pink Horrors. Pink Horrors just outnumber these Pistoliers. Pistoliers should probably have retreated and just kind of waited for their opportunity to shoot at my cav, but they're really forcing the engagement, along with the Hellstorm is trying to rain down some fire. The Flamers are making their moves up here. Flamers are really good at cutting through large swaths of just anything as well, like just they body pierce and they have such high missile damage that they usually put in work. I think I make a little bit of a mistake here by committing them to these Pistoliers as they're running towards my guys, and I'm fleeing as fast as I can. They're having cover fire from the Pink Horrors, so, they're getting away pretty unscathed. But I think I make a mistake of kind of using their ammo a little bit on these shitty Pistoliers. I probably should have saved it to deal some good damage to the main force. My cav is coming in to try to scare off the Pistoliers. I don't actually commit to that because I do not want to friendly fire the living shit out of my Chaos Knights. But I retreat just in time, and they kind of retreat, and I'm just playing a little game of cat and mouse right now. As you can see, some of my forces are getting a little battered. Yeah, getting a little shot up by that Hellstorm rocket battery. My Hell Cannon is dishing out its own bouts of pain here to the Empire force, and they haven't really spread out. So the cool thing about Medieval 2 is you can actually change your unit formation quite frequently, and so I see that I'm getting shot up a little bit, and I decide to spread out my Chaos Warriors into a loose formation, so that way they're less effective in combat. However, they take less damage from ranged units. We have another epic fail of the Hell Cannon. I believe my Flamers of Tzeentch are still going after these Pistoliers. I think that's still a mistake on my part. Looking back, 2020 retrospect, but looking back, these Flamers of Tzeentch should not be getting into the combat they're getting yet, and they're just getting chopped up here, and I'm not using my Chaos Knights to go ward these guys off, and it's just all bad, no good, all around. Now, I mean, these Pistoliers are getting pretty wrecked by the point-blank fucking flamethrower demons to the face, but they're, I don't think it was quite worth it once you see how the rest of this battle unfolds. So I'm keeping my knights kind of in the back, which is alright, because I don't want to get shot on by their, the Witch Hunters and the Master Engineers, but I also want to be careful, because Cav just destroys everything in this game. Now, the devs have nerfed it because they've nerfed some Cav speed and their kind of agility, so they can't turn around and disengage as fast as they would in vanilla Medieval 2. However, I still have to be careful here, especially with the Demigryphs, who are basically super-powered Cav. There is an HP system in Medieval 2, as we see these Eldritch Blasts pour into the Sons of Manan and Empire Swordsmen. But HP is much more meaningful in this game, as basically multiple HP means if you would be killed, you have to be killed just that many more times. So if you have 4 HP, a lethal blow has to be dealt to you 4 times. Or like a missile, like a barrage of missiles or a artillery strike has to deal that much HP damage to you. So most artillery can take out elite cav and infantry and the such, as they just have ridiculously high missile damage. As you can see, I'm approaching with some Ungor spears, just kind of screen my charge with the Chaos Warriors. We do get another delicious shot from the Hell Cannon into my opponent's artillery, leaving 11 guys left, but most of them incinerated, and that, that sergeant's still there just ordering the guys to get back onto the cannon. It's like, if I was a cannon crew, I'd fucking yeet the fuck out of there as soon as I saw half of my buddies get incinerated by a giant blast that was like 2 feet in front of my face. But, Men of the Empire are hardy. Speaking of hardy, my Chaos Warriors just took a blow from my own Hell Cannon and are now routing. Friendly fire is a much larger issue in this game, as you would imagine, because the accuracy modifiers are not exactly as tight as the ones in Warhammer 2. Like, low accuracy in Warhammer 2 means like you're occasionally miss, but you won't like totally blow up your own guys. But that shot does make up for itself as another Empire Halberdier gets incinerated. The Cav is kind of dancing around. They are charging my Chaos Warriors, who are fighting, and they totally rout. And this is kind of the issue with going on the offense as, or just in the struggle of Chaos in general, is on the approach you have to be very careful in how you approach, because Cav will get you, the missiles will get you, and getting charged in the rear in this game is not good, even to hardy Chaos Warriors. My Chosen Knights of Tzeentch are charging straight into these guys, right into the Halberdier front, and as you can see, the Halberdiers are getting shat on, and that's just how this game works, unfortunately. And I should be retreating out of there fairly quickly. Don't want to stay in there too long, or we'll start taking casualties. Pink Horrors just dumping their Eldritch Jism into the Empire Swordsman's flank here as Demigryphs surround my Chaos Knights, which is a big blunder here. The Chaos Knights totally getting shat on. I think that I tried to carry the Cav fight too heavily with my Flamers of Tzeentch, I think. I should have left the Pink Horrors to try to shoot at the Demigryphs, and the Flamers, I think, should go and just try to destroy this infantry line, as I'm actually not as dominating in the infantry fight as I would have thought, because I brought a very Tzeentchy, like, magic ranged themed army. My melee force is actually kind of pitiful compared to most Chaos armies in this mod, and I think in general, if you've seen Warhammer 2, Chaos is a usually run at you, beat your face type faction, and I played very skirmish heavy, so I'm a little against my own philosophies here as a Chaos Lord. I guess, I don't fucking know. Warlord. I do have Lords. And another friendly fire, totally destroying some of my Chaos Warriors and Empire Halberdiers. Just, Khorne doesn't care. Like, I'm secretly actually a Khorne player, because as I don't care where the blood flows from, as long as it flows, So the Pink Horrors are now just laying fire into these Demigryphs, though, halting, kind of stopping their charge here. And the Flamers are coming in, and this Crossfire should actually do a huge amount of damage to the Empire Swordsmen and the Demigryphs alike. The Demigryphs are going to take a bit longer to whittle down, as they have their 4 HP and fat amount of armor and defense and all that. These Demigryphs are totally chowing down on my Chaos Knights. So my Cav have done diddly squat this game, and my infantry kind of traded tit for tat, with the Hell Cannon helping not so much in some areas and really helping me out in other areas. I did get a nice flank with the Pink Horrors, though. They're coming in to try to help this fight against the Northland Marines. And I mean, 1-for-1, the Chaos Warriors would definitely beat most of this Empire infantry force. It's just that they took a lot of fire and Cav charges, etc., and friendly fire on the way there, so they're not doing too hot. But we have actually whittled down our Demigryph foes quite handily in one unit, as the Crossfire from Pink Horrors and Flamers are just destroying them. But we have another unit of 15 more Demigryphs coming in to the charge, and that's not very good. These Pink Horrors will totally get massacred in melee. They'll tear us apart in melee. They'll tear us apart in melee! And, yeah, it's not going to be a good time for me. I'm running out of troops real quick here. I have a little Bastion, and this is quite the blob. If he had some ranged or any artillery left, this could be quite punishable. Ooh, Northland Marines getting fucking roasted for about a quarter of their unit there. Very nice. They are popping some shots into the backs of my Chaos Warriors, who are kind of losing their morale here. Luckily for me, I did bring a demon-heavy army. Excuse me. So these Pink Horrors do not break. They fight to the last man. And because they don't break, they actually, they help the rest of the army stabilize somewhat in times of peril. But times of peril are definitely upon us, and it's not looking particularly good for the minions of Tzeentch in terms of just balance of power. I do actually have, yeah, it is very even, and it actually for some reason says that he is in the low here, but I can't tell. No, that does. I think that does say. I think we're red. I'm fairly certain we're red. I don't fucking know. I'm thinking we're red though, because we're getting shat on. We are down forces. Our Hell Cannon, I think, is pretty much out of ammo. Not like it in this stage of the game, it might actually hurt us more than helping us with the friendly fire rate it's been going at. But pink horrors are looking to flank some more and get some juicy shots into the Empire Spearman. My general actually still is alive. He's in a little unit of chosen Knights of Slaanesh, and they're coming in to try to shut down those Master Engineers who have been up all game pretty much. They pretty much haven't been interfered by all my shit. So it's not particularly great in terms of their range not being compromised this entire time. Another factor that has probably led into this disastrous situation we sit upon ourselves right now. But the really big pick here is the Pink Horrors and the Flamers being able to take down the Demigryphs. Now, the Sons of Manan to deal with, and these Pink Horrors, I believe, are probably out of ammo. That's why I'm running them into melee. And these Pink Horrors are going to crossfire with some of these Sons of Manan and get a juicy, little delicious flank. Eldritch Blast going into the back of these Witch Hunters and Empire Spearmen. They're holding out really well, and partly due to the fact is you're like, man, these all these Empire State Troops are staying really well. Well, there's this little derpy warrior priest sitting on his cart doing absolutely nothing but standing there menacingly.
He's just standing there, menacingly!
And he's just there in his cart, and this cart inspires everything. So in Medieval 2, there's a kind of inspire trait, and it almost is map-wide for your allies, but what it does is it boosts your morale immensely. So unless there's a big shock like those Hell Cannon shots or like a cav charge, it's really hard to break even these low morale Empire Spearmen. And Empire State Troops aren't exactly low morale either. They're not the worst things in terms of leadership. Another Hell Cannon shot, slightly eviscerating, getting one Master Engineer out of that shot. The Sons of Manan, though, with 41 strong, are probably going to chew through my Pink Horrors, even with the shots coming in. Like I said, the Eldritch Blasts are not the strongest things. They are body piercing, so they have potential to deal lots of damage, but their missile strength just isn't the best. These Witch Hunters and Empire Spearmen should be doing alright here. They are chopping along at these Chaos Warriors. My Chaos Warriors should win at the end of the day, but the rest of the support that the Empire Army has should probably be enough to wrap them up. Considering I think I lost my general in a heroic charge against these Master Engineers, my general's nowhere to be found. Unfortunately, in these replays, they don't tell you when your general has died, which is very shit, but, you know, we'll just have to live with it. Because I'm assuming his general's in the Demigryph, so we should have gotten alerted to that as well. Northern Marines, yep, cleaning up those guys and coming in for a rear charge, or possibly just lining up shots for the rear here. They're already exhausted and shaken. It's looking like a GG if anyone were to call it early here. Yep, seeing some routes. And yeah, the Pink Horrors are going to be the last survivors because they just can't physically break, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to get some of the Hell Cannon of Chaos artillery crew coming in for support for the last stand here. But yeah, with those Chaos Warriors broken, I mean, there's not a lot. Now keep in mind, these Witch Hunters actually do have multiple HP. They're kind of like a hero unit, so they do have multiple HP, and they have pretty high missile and just weapon damage in general. So they're going to be a bitch. They're kind of a power piece that's still in play. Not a lot I can do here at this point. Claire gave a very solid defense. I think I rushed up a little too early, in fact. I think there was no reason for me to rush at all. Although the Hell Rocket was laying up some DPS, it wasn't doing nearly as much as my Hell Cannon was. So I think I made the mistake by being the aggressor here when I should have just forced the engagement. But yeah, GG to Claire. This is like game 2 or 3 in our series of like 5 or 4 that we've played. Probably going to be posting a little bit more. If anybody wants to download this game or this mod for Medieval 2, and keep in mind it is Medieval 2 Kingdoms. Don't just have vanilla Medieval 2, or if you have the DVD, not the DVD, the CD of it, not the CD, but the disc. Jesus Christ. The disc of the game, you will need to get the Steam version. You just have to get the Steam version to be compatible with us, unfortunately. But yeah, as the rest of my troops get wiped up, that's signaling the epic defeat of the Tzeentchians. Tragic. In the name of chaos, I failed everyone, but luckily I'm dead as well, so I can't disappoint Archaon in the most shameful of ways. But Yeah, so basically, let's fast forward here, and unfortunately, another sad fact of Medieval 2, as my Hellcannon crew just fights to the bitter end. Oh, these brave Chaos Dwarves. Go. The Children of Hashut, or whatever the fuck their god is called. Yeah, let's see that quick route, and that is the game. So, the display, oh Jesus Christ, my mic almost fell off my fucking desk. There we go. The display, unfortunately, only shows us our kill details. So, enemy kills 700, and this little parentheses is prisoners taken, which means troops killed after their routing. So I brought a much smaller force, so it makes sense that the ratio is kind of like that. Chosen Knights of Tzeentch, 98, didn't really entirely pay for themselves. It depends on the kills, because you can't really... There's no point value system, unfortunately. This is like Warhammer 2 before the newest update. You just see kills, so you can't exactly tell the value they got just off of that alone, because, like, unfortunately, like, if you kill, like, an elephant-type unit, which are a lot of the monsters in this game, they only have, like, 3 riders, so they count as 3, but that's not their actual, like, gold value. Anyways, the most value we got, actually, I think, was in these pink horrors, because they were chewing up a lot of the cavalry this game, which was a big factor. And the Chaos Warriors, 2 of them, those surviving ones, did work. They pushed through the line and beat up multiple Empire state troops and Nordland Marines, and they did well for themselves. This one probably got shot on by the Hell Cannon, and this one just got trampled over by Cav and Shooty Boys and other things. Hell Cannon did very well for itself. Now keep in mind, these 214 are probably some of our own men. But, you know, if he does, he does, you know? Like, Chaos don't care. Khorne don't care where the blood flows as long as it flows. Flamers of Tzeentch did pretty well for themselves. Again, I think I misused them, and that's probably what caused the battle, along with me advancing for no apparent reason. I think I just kind of felt like I needed to do so. He was on a hill. There's no reason to do it. But my foolish ways got the better of me. Ungor Herd, they did what they had to do. They just got shot on, so good for them. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much the battle. Yet again, so thanks to Claire for playing with me. Not a lot of people play this game anymore. I will be trying to probably get seduce the Slaneshi succulent indie pride into playing some battles with me as well at some point, so we can get some juicy 1v1s there. But if you want more info on the mod, I'm gonna drop a... This is post editing Gojira, and I'm cutting my old self off because I actually am posting a different Discord link than I originally planned to post. I'm actually opening up my own Discord to post the link for the version that I'm currently playing on in BOTET. So I'll link that Discord, and also I will link the Discord of the newest version that the devs have been working on. This isn't the most current version. This is just the version I play on with some of my friends. So I'll link my Discord and the version I play on, and then the Discord of like the newest version if you want to check out the most recent rendition of Call of Warhammer. Additionally, I think I already shouted out Claire or whatever. I'll link him as well, but he's a D&D nerd, so if you like watching videos about D&D and an experienced DM teach you tips and tricks and shit like that, then go over and check his channel out. Other than that, have a good one, boys.